So recently, I was watching a video of um, people of the olden days and their creativity and their creations. And the person in the video was talking about how he's worried that human beings are regressing. And I could kind of relate because we live in a capitalist society. And all what the capitalist society rewards is not creativity, it rewards money. It rewards how much money did you make. The greatest invention of this capitalist society is debt. And debt is just a stupid thing. And I think everybody should avoid it. I especially need to avoid it in all forms. The greatest invention in this capitalist society is debt. So debt is really weird. Really, really weird. And people just have to avoid it. It's not necessary at all. It's not necessary at all. Debt is not necessary at all. And that's the greatest invention of this capitalist society. But if you look at the people of olden days, they have so many things that they created. Like you can see their mountains, you can see their mountains, you can see the way they carve these mountains and the precision that they use in carving some of these mountains, the art for their buildings. In fact, at some point in time, it was as if they were building from scratch. They were not. It was just as if they were bending. Like, just know they were bending. It was as if they see a mountain, where today people they will blast the mountain away, to blast it away. Then they start building one skyscraper from scratch. Not these guys. The people of old were like material benders, metal benders. When you see their sculpture of arts, so the ways they made those arts, modern people today cannot do it. Some of the techniques that they use in molding those art pieces, modern technology today people cannot do it. A lot of knowledge was lost when colonizers came, and it was lost for like 300 years, and so far people have not yet been able to recover it. And what has that brought us now since the colonizer era is the concept of debt, the concept of money. I wonder whether they were so objectified or so consumed with the fact of, oh, money, 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 just like the way people are today. Today, people are so concerned with money that they build a society that is awkward. So if you think about it, maybe the people of the olden days actually had a better understanding of what the world is, what the world entails, than the modern era. Like in the olden days, everybody had a farm. Everybody had a farm. And if a pandemic affected them, everybody had to like lock in and sit at home, just like we happened recently in 2020. Those guys will be fine. Those guys will be okay because they have wells in their house, they have farms in their lands. But now, if you now look at what happened, what transpired with our own generation, if the lockdown was very long, food prices will skyrocket. In fact, they were already skyrocketing. They were already moving forward, like they were already getting higher and higher. But it wasn't yet skyrocketing level. Food prices would have skyrocketed. Like it would have been crazy how high prices of food would have gone if we didn't um, get to a close of the lockdown soon enough. It would have been crazy. So that's just the truth. We really need to restructure our concept of life and the way we live in this capitalist society. I think Africa, that everybody is looking down, is actually in the best position, a better position to transform back to the way of life than this so-called Western societies and the Western ideals and the Western way of life. I think the Western way of life, they have, some societies do, not all. They have a longer, some Western societies, not all Western societies, they have a longer journey to get back to their roots. While there are some Western societies that are able to hold on to their roots, and that's just the truth. So we really need to find out what the exact right ideals are, and we have to stick to them. And we have to think about it that how do people in the olden days survive? I bet you people are not jumping right now trying to work 9 to 5. I don't think they were created for that. I don't think that's what people were doing in the olden days. And that's why you can see their artworks. Their artwork has three things: patience. Um, it has patience in it. It is so detailed and precise. I know that these guys were patient. They were not time-based works. They were not doing any work that, oh, let's finish it as fast as possible. Oh, let's go and collect our salary. Let's finish as fast as possible so we can collect our salary. At all. These guys were doing works like they want 1 billion people to see it after they are gone. And true, that's what happened. They weren't doing it at that moment. They are doing works that will outlive them, outlive their children, outlive. So when they are taking actions, they're taking actions to carve the mountain or the craft or the ground or the plant or anything, the wood, whatever they were crafting. They use so much patience. Patience to a level I don't know whether we can relate to it in our social media lifestyle where everybody is so distracted by the brain cells and everybody wants to feel excitement at every instant. The patience level that those guys have was very high. Another thing was also focus. You can see the focus in it. For those guys to build those type of things, it means over the years that's what they were working on. It means over the years that's what they were training themselves for. It means over the years that's all what they were focusing on to be able to build such sculptures. Because these are the ones that we can see. We have no idea how these guys lived. No idea. Because you can see it's in our DNA to find out. Because we might have some habits that were picked up from them. But as much as that's true, how many people who actually want to sit down and reflect on thinking new thoughts, inviting new guests, and who knows, the guests will have a glimpse of the past and be able to rethink things. Right now, we're so consumed with social media. I can't lie to you, and that's because of the money in it. I can't lie to you, we're so consumed in social media. Everybody wants to be the next Kim Kardashian, so they can just get paid a lot of money for doing nothing. For living the best of their life. Imagine that. So I can't vex with anybody. Everybody wants to live that type of dream. But creativity, I think, is a better measurement of progress. I think creativity is to show you where you are, where you are supposed to be, and you create something that is you, that's really yours. Not buying. Buying does not create something that is for you. And that's where the world is now. Everybody is trying to buy this, buy that, buy that, buy that. That's the huge concept of buy happiness. It's of create happiness. It comes to oh, money cannot buy happiness. Duh. And you see people trying to buy happiness. Duh. Because the adverts and everything we're consuming, many people are consuming now, is all buy. We have to go back to the concept of creativity. We have to go back to the concept of you have to create that happiness. Money cannot even buy creativity. Can you believe that? There are a lot of things that money cannot buy that are actually invaluable. Like I said, if that pandemic lasted long enough, food stuffs that you undervalue, like maybe a pot of rice or a plate of rice, and you're like, I don't feel like eating. If that pandemic lasted longer, you didn't have a farm, that plate of rice that maybe you used to buy for 100 naira, 200 naira, it could have gone for 100,000. I know that's an extreme jump, but it could have gone that high for 100,000. And at the end of the day, who do you blame? Because once there's scarcity, the price of everything goes up. If there's a limit of that resource and the resource is a necessity. So if the pandemic was too long, God have mercy, people would have been selling their phones. That's where to start from. God have mercy. Because some people are already out of the jobs. So the pandemic just proves that money is not really as valuable as we think it is, and we really need to go back to our roots and figure out who we are as a people, what we really, really want to do, and are we living the right way we're meant to be living? Not living a capitalistic life whereby we're just following what the capitalists are advising and trying to do what the capitalists are telling us to do. Do we really need to be out there pushing money and doing a 9 to 5? Do we? Or we just find a piece of land and dominate it and build a community? Do you get? Build a community from scratch. But also be cautious, because Because the longer you build the community and the better the community gets, probably going to get attacked. It's going to get attacked. So you also now start learning defense strategies. And that's it. Currency, at the end of the day, at the bottom of it all, currency is not backed by gold, it's not backed by usage, it's backed by military. How much military do you have that can defend your currency? If you want to be a superpower. Anyhow, but that's just out of that topic. In fact, that's a whole different topic on its own. So that's just it, guys. Consider going into farming and consider the old ways. The old ways might just be the right ways of living. So let's just think about it. Let's consider the old ways. And like I said, the thought those guys also had was, have I mentioned love? Those guys must have loved what they are doing. For you to love what you are doing is when you can focus on it. For you to love what you are doing is when you can be patient with it. So these guys are three things that they were working with in the past. Patience, because they knew that they wanted their work to last longer than ever before. So they were not looking at time at all. They had focus. And they were focused on the crafts that they knew. And they had, love. They really loved it. Many things at the end of the day. I think the path to happiness is through creativity. That's it. Alright, guys. Bye bye.